Okay, so what is this? Apparently, hating gamers has backfired. Gamers hating Corpos have a public meltdown screaming in rage. Are y'all ready for this, dude? Oh, dude, it's gonna be something, isn't it? It's gonna be something. Ooh.
We've got an extremely bizarre situation going on in the games industry, mostly relating to the AAA side of things. Learning the Law, saying Western game devs screaming at GDC 2024 against Gamergate patriarchy in the industry. So I'm going to play this bizarre clip for you. And,
Are y'all ready?
The whole thing's like 24 seconds long.
Sit down, calm down, get yourself ready, embrace. Be ready for total... Just think about it afterward. That these are human beings living a life like yourself, and they behave like this.
I'm going to try and keep it to 10 seconds or so. Yeah, it's extremely bizarre, and I'll give you more context to this after we watch the clip.
Damn.
So that bizarre video occurred at GDC 2024, or Game Developers Conference 2024, over in San Francisco. Described as, GDC is the game industry's premier professional...
Gamers Unite.
Professional, yes, very professional. Anyways, GDC is the game industry's premier professional event, championing game developers and the advancement of their craft. The GDC brings the game development community together to exchange ideas, solve problems, and shape the future of the industry across 5 days of education, inspiration, and networking.
Oh
Attendees
my god.
include programmers, artists, producers, game designers, audio professionals, and business leaders. More info.
I feel so bad for actual game devs all clouds. Dude, they all yelling at clouds. AI mob. These people can't be real. And you know, every time I see these situations, man, dude, it must suck working at that field, because now you're getting like instigated. Now you get put in a field with them, with people behaving like that. You remember whenever people were talking about the localizers in Japanese media, changing and putting woke culture into their like translations and changing the whole context of whatever the media or the anime was saying. And then you have like normal localizers just being like, man, why they gotta do this? They ruin it for everybody. Because these people, like what these guys are doing right now is putting a bad example for every game developer out there. Because let's be real, who wants to work with somebody that are standing outside and screaming like this? How can you be real? How like, think about it. This is insanity. Like, what are you doing? Oh my god.
Attendees include programmers, artists, producers, game designers, audio professionals, and business leaders. More info on that extremely bizarre and immature...
The sad part is that the entire industry is getting pulled down by the 1% of their people. So true. Like, it damages the entire industry because these people are the loudest. Because they're the loudest, that's the one that people notice the most. It sucks.
Certainly not professional. Screaming event at GDC can be seen here on PC Gamer.
Hear me out, Addy. These are the CIA agents on their way to harm the gamers.
A GD scream to vent rage.
Gamers are oppressed, man. Feel bad. God.
The industry. It feels hard to be here and pretend like everything is fine. Yeah, spoiler alert, most people in the world have gone through or are going through extremely difficult times, and they're not gathering together to scream like a bunch of lunatic weirdos. Unsurprisingly, the journalist that wrote this article at PC Gamer is defending that behavior, seemingly agreeing with it, as they write, developers at GDC gathered today to express their feelings about the state of the game industry in what, under the circumstances, is really the only reasonable way to react, with a scream. Yeah, no. So the Scream event was organized by former Epic Games producer Carol Shaw and Fortnite Festival designer Scott John Siegel, taking place at 12 p.m. Skipping to this paragraph, it reads, speaking to PC Gamer at the event, Siegel said he was prompted to organize the event by the frustration he's felt over widespread layoffs and the recent Gamergate 2 controversy over narrative consultancy firm Sweet Baby Inc. So once again, we've got a bunch of corpos attempting to defend the bigoted, corrupt firm known as Sweet Baby Inc., and publishers have apparently already admitted that working with Sweet Baby Inc. has apparently caused them to lose revenue. Yet all these corpos will never acknowledge that stuff or the bigoted things that Sweet Baby Inc. employees have said about various groups of people. and instead their intent to yell on behalf of them. They continue to write, when you have this many
Oh my god. Can you believe this, man? Oh my god. I don't get it. I swear to God, I feel like we sometimes live in a simulation, because how can these people be real? They have nothing to lose on this. Like, they're not losing on this situation at all. Why are they behaving like this?
many people coming together in the game industry, going to all these events, having all these people attend presentations and award ceremonies where not necessarily everyone is even mentioning the layoffs, even mentioning where the culture is currently. It all feels absurd, Siegel said. At the end of the day, it feels hard to be here and pretend like everything is fine in our industry, to say nothing of the world, when things very much aren't. So all I really wanted to do, can we just get people together for just a moment of catharsis, a single minute, smack in the middle of this entire GDC? Can we just have some cathartic caterwauling together, even if we can say nothing else? Even if there's nothing else we feel like, there's nothing else we can say at this moment. Don't let GDC go by without acknowledging that collectively we feel like things are not okay and we want things to be different. But once again, there's
Man, this is insane. Like, this is, you gotta be really bored and really privileged to sit there and think like this, man. Like, come on. Do you know what we're talking about? We're talking about fucking sweet baby ink and wokeness within video games. What are you doing?
solution was to just gather together and scream like a bunch of weird lunatics.
Yeah, that'll show him. That'll show him for sure.
It's so pompous and obnoxious to act like that's helping anything. I guess maybe it helped their egos or something. I mean, apparently the people who did it enjoyed it for some weird reason, but like, you know what I mean? They're talking about like the state of the games industry in the world and whatnot, and acting like that helped people at large, which, as mentioned, in my opinion, is pompous, obnoxious, and ridiculous. The fact of the matter is, most of these angry, yelling people or whatever, they call themselves professionals. Okay, sure. Most of them come from the AAA side of things. And yes, the AAA industry lately has been going through a ton of layoffs. I covered various reasons for that in a video I released a month or two ago. To summarize some of it though, a lot of these AAA companies are spending more money on the games they produce than ever before.
Also, you need to think about this. There are layoffs everywhere in the like tech industry. The reality is that people overhired during Corona. People overhired during the time where people were sitting at home. There was a lot of things ending up to this, and this clash was inevitable. Everybody saw this, and this is the layoffs are coming in wave from each industry. This is not only the gaming industry's problem, this is the whole tech industry and even other industries having the issue. It's because more things are being automated, the cost for things are too much, and they just can't like maintain it. And you could argue that, yeah, these companies are making billions and millions and blah, 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 blah. That is still, I mean, that is still not really a point to this. There's no real, that is not a fact you can use against their argument of laying off people. Because at the end of the day, if you want to scream at anybody about layoffs, you got to scream at your government. Because these people, you never see Europeans scream about like this. You never see Europeans do this kind of protest about layoffs. Do you have any idea why? It's because Europe and many countries within Europe has a lot of like rules to protect the workers, protect the users. But in America, you can fire someone without any ground and it doesn't matter. So if you want to scream, if you want to protest against anything, labor laws, exactly, a lawyer in chat, hi Tulia. If you want to scream about any of these things, you should definitely scream at your government and scream at like any kind of political representative you have near in your city. Because screaming at any company ain't doing shit. The guy probably managing and deciding all of this probably don't even know about this. He's probably not even there. He's probably in Bahamas doing some business while drinking some stupid, I don't know, something stupid and chilling out. He's doing other things. The people are dealing with these things, making these decisions. They will not hear your screams. They will not be heard. If you want to do anything about this, make sure that your government, the political parties around you, are the one that fixes this, because this is a problem with every industry in America. And yeah, This is ridiculous. Like, you need to think that these people here, they are grown-up adults. They're like 30, 40. How can you go outside and scream like a maniac over this? It's stupid.
While they also produce worse
Lord.
products than ever before. They nickel and dime the players. They provide predatory in-game microtransactions or weird bad life service offerings. And then gamers decide to just not buy those games. And instead, they buy.
Exactly. That's it. Gamers can do whatever they want because they're the consumer. The market decides. If the people publishing creates like all of these anti-consumer practices and the consumer is like, I don't like this, so I'm not going to buy it. That's their choice. Nobody's forcing them. There's their own money. You got to sell a product that people are interested in.
Buy indie games like Helldivers 2 or Palworld. And you see games like the new Suicide Squad or that Saints Row game that came out months back flop. A lot of these games companies essentially slap their own customers in the face. They slap gamers in the face, treating us like we're a bunch of suckers or something, expecting that we're always going to like buy those games. And guess what?
Also, you need to remember that this wave started in 2023 with Starfield, with like, there's a lot of games in 2023 that came out of AAA studios that were just completely shit. And the consumers, the gamers, they didn't really want to stand by them. They didn't support these games. They didn't buy them. This didn't start about with Suicide Squad and stuff, but these are the most recent examples.
It hasn't been working out for them so well.
Saints Row got butchered. Yeah, true.
Professionals,
big failure.
Instead of trying to cause positive change in the AAA industry, which is rightfully falling apart right now, well, they don't do that. Instead, they try and blame it on the gamers, calling the gamers a bunch of bigots.
Not AAA being shit started in COVID and a little bit before that. I know AAA has been shit actually way longer than that. What I mean is that the consumers have stopped taking the shit. They have decided to use their wallet where things are right. And they are, because this is happening more and more and more, you can see that this is being a big hit to the AAA studios and the any other type of investors around that is losing a lot of money because these practices, these anti-consumer practices, these rushed games are not fitting well with gamers, and they've started less and less to buy them. And also, it is at the hour where they're trying to push $70 game, $80 game. Do you know how much a $70 game is for me? $85, $80. Why the fuck would I buy a video game for $80 when I can buy a game that is $30 and have way more hours into that? Why would I do that?
It's
just
stuff
steal
like
it.
that, and then apparently gathering together in groups to yell at the top of their lungs. On top of all of that, a Reddit post here shows how at GDC, they're apparently going on stage to promote Marxism. So this is supposed to be an event about gaming, right?
What is Marxism? I have never heard this word before. Marxism, why are people making up words? Marxism takes a deterministic approach to history. Before socialism, there must be... I don't care.
And
What
they're
the
out
fuck
here
is this?
yelling and then promoting Marxism. Like,
Marxism is proto-communism. Oh, okay. Proto-communism. In our video game, boys. Oh yeah, okay, yeah, I didn't know about it. I didn't know. I'm not a politician, all right? I didn't know about that word. I'm not a politician. I've never heard this before. But yeah, maybe if I heard it in my own language, I would probably know what it is, but yeah. Anyways. Karl Marx? Is it? Oh no, but anyway, who cares? Anyways. Ignore the fact that I don't know this word. Why are we talking about this in a game convention where game devs are talking about their practices and the way they develop games to be better for the consumer? What the fuck is this?
what? Let's take a look at this panel. Marxism is great for a designer. Marxism, it's kind of hard for me to read this, excuse me. The font is all slanted, but I'm going to try.
Literal creator
Marxism
of the
takes a
Communist
deterministic
Manifesto?
approach to
Oh my
history.
god.
For socialism, they must be...
I've never read that book.
There must be capitalism, I think it says. It may sound like crazy. Oh, they even say
What
that.
gaming needs most is communism. God damn.
It may sound like crazy talk, but when you turn it into a design, it's great to work with. And then I think they got a picture of Karl Marx in the bottom right there. Lessons learned. The invitation, the selection process,
Wow.
education, privilege and oppression, macroaggressions, white fragility, call out culture. So we're dealing with a bunch of politically obsessed grifters who want to try and act like victims when gamers don't want to buy their corporate slop. Great. And then they have this. A broken link between worlds. The world we see. Population female. Percent of total population in world was reported at 49.72% in 2021, according to the World Bank Collection of Development Indicators, compiled from officially recognized sources. The world we create. Mega Man franchise. 30 plus titles, 100 characters, 90% male protagonists, 0 darker skinned characters. So they're upset that Mega Man is 90% male protagonist and 0 darker skinned characters, according to the.
So you're upset that a Japanese company that created a game in Japan for gamers that was basically like 99.9% male made white skins or Asian characters that are 90% male protagonists. Okay.
This picture thing. Why are they saying the world we create though? Like they're trying to take credit for Mega Man or something. Like
you couldn't create Mega Man.
Maybe it's just an example. I don't even know. These people are like weird as heck, man.
Yeah.
A bunch of crazy, weird, politically obsessed people that can't even make a decent game apparently, even with all the funding that they have behind it.
I think there's a kind of God complex in sort of way. I think there's like an ego to this. Like, because these people are, what they are thinking is that I want to change the world you envision. I want to change the art you're creating. I want to change all you are doing and put my own worldview, my own narrative into your creation. It is so disgusting and weird. Like, can't you just make something that is good and you put your own worldview in? You could, but it won't happen because you can't make anything good. That is the problem here. Or maybe they can make something good, but I don't think anybody that can create a beautiful art craft by themselves will sit there and tell everybody else in the entire world to do it differently.
It's also hilarious how these sort of people act
Because
like
if you could do it, you would do that instead of doing whatever that this is.
they're like the rebels or whatever, like they're all rebellious when they're literally a bunch of corpos with a bunch of corporate money and venture capital and even the
True.
government backing
Good
them
point,
up.
Nico.
Grumps
Good
would write,
point.
Take this. The organization with ties to government funding that defended SBI's harassment campaign versus Kate Rambo is holding 2
You
talks
want to take
at
credit
GDC.
from it? I
While
think so
there
as
are
well.
many good talks at GDC, this group is trying to spy on gamers, and we should be wary. Image 1 saying advocacy, micro talks, culture, civics, and karma. And Image 2 saying retaining diverse employees, taking the next step in DEIB. Grumps would then also defend GDC somewhat, saying GDC could only get 50 devs to join their Screamfest. Thousands go to GDC. Most devs just want to make great games and are held hostage by cancel pigs.
Ooh.
A response saying, who in the name of Pete wants to go outside and scream at a business convention? What serious person would do this? It blows my mind that anybody thought this was a good idea.
I feel like people are forgotten what being professional is. Because, like, I see this. I remember, I don't know if y'all have worked at a job and you had, like, a lot of people, you just, like, the entry job, and then, like, everybody you meet are basically super unprofessional. I don't understand how you get into an industry or you get into a job and you act like a child. People have... It seems like often when I look at the internet, and I feel like the internet creates their own narrative, but a lot of people have forgotten how to be professional in the world. Like they have forgotten what a job is, what business is. They're seeing like the world as it's a Reddit thread, and it seems it's really odd. It's really fucking odd.
What serious person would do this? It blows my mind that anybody thought
I
this
got a
was
new
good
job
idea.
yesterday. Grats, dude. Grats.
I'm gonna go get a
Huge.
Tylenol after listening to that screaming clip over and over when I first recorded it, put in post-production and all that too. So I'll leave it there.
What do you
Thank you all
mean?
so much for
True.
tuning in. If you enjoyed this segment, please consider liking
Easy
and
clap.
subscribing to the
What a
channel.
winner.
I appreciate your support, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. And consider letting me know what you think about all of this in the comments.
I think this is ridiculous. This puts down the whole industry. It puts less respect into game developers' like image, and it ruins for everybody. I think this is I think this is gonna hit like a clash in this year or next year, because I think the agenda a lot of these people are having, the agenda the media is having in the Western view, at least in the States, about how to change other people's art and how other people should do things, is starting to get kind of stale, and it's starting to be a very rotten. And I think a lot of people are getting really tired about this, and they're about to get the fat backlash of it all and be faced with consequences. And you know what sucks about this is that these consequences are going to impact the ones that are doing their job, that are professional, that are doing everything to create something good. But because some are just too loud and too obnoxious, this is going to strike everybody, and it absolutely blows. It absolutely blows. But yeah, stealing and taking from others will always be the easier than making stuff yourself. So of course, these devs want to take other IPs and make them into what they want. Yeah, no innovation. It's very tragic. It's just boring as well. By the way, Austria here is the definition of nepotism. Literally got job offers from friends, and all went easy. If you try to apply yourself, it's hard as fuck to get a job. Oh yeah, applying a job in a lot of European countries is impossible. You need to know somebody. It's actually so stupid. But yeah, anyways, yeah, shame. This is a real shame that this is happening.